What's going on, Periscope? It's official. What's up? How you guys doing tonight? Welcome to the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone. It's all good in the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone, you guys. What's going on? My name is Keith B. Dixon. Tonight we're going to be talking about social media. I'm going to give you some fine-tuning instruments that you can use. And if you just follow these steps, I'm going to tell you it'll change your social media. I don't want to say instantly, but you'll definitely see some return on it. How's everybody doing tonight? Is everybody doing good? I want you to put a Wi-Fi for me. Put a Wi-Fi in. If everybody is doing good, I want you to put in a Wi-Fi for me, and then we're going to get this show on the road. Let's go. Wi-Fi, yes. Yes, if you see me looking to the sides here, you guys, I just got a whole bunch of screens going on. So I'll be looking like this, and then I'll be looking up. If you see me looking over here, then I can see your comments. But if I'm looking straight at the camera, I can't see your comments. So I want you to know I'm not ignoring you. I just can't see your comments. Welcome. If you're brand new, this is the Bomb Squad community. My name is Keith B. Dixon. I'm the Chief Evangelist. I call it the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone. You'll hear me say that, the Keith B. Dixon Zone. You'll hear us refer to that. This is our 7/7/05 broadcast, Pacific Standard Time. We do it 5 days a week, and you can find our squad on Facebook. Just do a hashtag search using Bomb Squad. You got to use it together in a group search, and then once you find our banner, I'll show you what it looks like later. Once you see our banner, you can't miss it. You just can't miss it. All you got to do is a request to join. We're actually going to look through your profile. We're looking and we're vetting. We're looking for photography-related information on your page. We're looking for an interest in photography. If you are not added, you can always DM me and say, Keith, how come you didn't add me? I really want to be a part of the group. I may even call you on the telephone and say, hey, why do you want to be a part of this group? What we are trying to do is create a core group of members who are strongly interested in photography, strongly interested in harmony, belief, values, everything that we come together on as a squad and a unit, and that's what we're doing. So that down the road we may be able to support people and have them support us as well. So that's our community in a nutshell. Right now I'm going to say there's an unofficial number because we haven't really tested that number. Unofficially 297 members. And at 300, I'm going to close the group off. It'll be a closed group. And the reason for that, and you guys got to know the history behind this. The reason for 300 is Schoolcraft College has 287 seats in the auditorium. So that was initially the thought. I said, well, I'll just make it 300 and then we'll deal with the overflow. So Schoolcraft College has 287 seats. And obviously, if we have 287 people in the community all show up, it's all gravy. So that was the initial ideal behind that. So there it is. Welcome, welcome, and then welcome to all my super fans. I appreciate you guys. That's a tough group right there. I don't know how you guys do it. I tried to get on and tap the screen the other day for a broadcaster, one of my broadcaster friends, and I got to tell you, it was like, how do they do it? So I admire you guys for that. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Let me see names and locations, and then we're going to dive into a couple messages. We're going to talk about some things that I've seen, and we're going to dive into this. We're going to be a little bit, I'd say probably about 50 to 60 minutes. So let me see names and locations. If you're brand new, Rome from Wisconsin, what's going up, Rome? What's going on? Yes, sir. Yes. Rome, I think Rome is on the super fan status. Cheryl from the D, what up, doe? Tim from West Michigan. What's up, Tim? What up, doe? You know, that's what they say in Detroit. That's what up. The what up, doe is a Detroit thing. Barry from New Jersey. Yes. Hey, Ron be putting in the work, y'all. Let's go. David from Greensboro. What's up, David? All day. PhotoBiz all day. Let's go, baby. There's our Exposure 101 account. All day, every day. Hey, these numbers is getting big in the scope. You guys are like 400 and some people live this morning. What's up, Van? All the way to the ATL from the Bay. Captain Lamar, all day, my scope homie. Originally, AKA, there she is, Commander 2, Amber, Deb D. What up, though? That's how we do it. Thank you guys for those introductions. Any new people in the scope tonight? Any new people in the broadcast? And you guys, I'm broadcasting also on YouTube as well. So I'm doing this live on YouTube. YouTube has been a stepchild for me because, you know, I'm loving that Facebook Live and Periscope, you guys. So I'm really pushing myself on YouTube Live. I know there's some benefit there. So I'm looking over here at the YouTube page. We definitely have some people watching. YouTube actually looks the best on the television too, by the way, I think. That's just my opinion. But anyhow, moving on, you guys. There's my wife right there. What's up, baby? MR cruising. That's her right there. 20 years, y'all. 20 years with the first lady. There we go. Okay. Moving on, you guys. Anyhow, just so you know, we have the 90 PT, and I just posted, I think it was month 4 now. We're in the 4th month. It's $230. $290. Sorry, $290. You pay up front, 12 sessions, and you can watch it at any time, all day, every day. Unless you're on the old program, you get to watch it like twice. But here's the deal, you guys. The 90 PT is unique. It's unique in the way it's presented. It's unique in the task that are tasked to you. It's something that I've put together based on my own personal experiences in photography and how to deal with certain things like lighting, marketing, sales, business, social media, and just general photography education. So there it is. Every man has a great woman, Rome. That's the truth, my friend. So you can definitely find that there. And also, if you want to sign up for the 90 PT, all you got to do is just go to workshops.keithbdixon.online. And you can sign up there for the 90 PT. No pressure, you guys. I just make this stuff available so that, because people tell me I have to. Keith, do you have any programs that I can sign up for and all that good stuff? And so I have to create these programs. But what I'm really passionate about, you guys, what I'm really passionate about is this right here. I love this. I love the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone podcast. And I think I'm going to update it pretty soon. I don't have a regular schedule yet, but I will. And I got to tell you, Terrell Lloyd's interview is doing really well. Matthew, so the top 3 are Make No Excuses. Those are the top downloads. Make No Excuses, Terrell Lloyd's interview, and then Matthew Jordan Smith. Those are the top downloads. Most listened to are Low Hanging Fruit, the Make No Excuses, and Terrell Lloyd's interview. Those are the most listened to, and then there's the most downloaded. So that's what we have there. If you're watching on the web, thank you. Thank you if you're watching on the web. I appreciate you all day. And you guys, let me talk about some of the things I have going on. One, this is really important, I think, for anyone that's interested in live streaming going forward. You definitely should know about this. This morning I was on a radio show doing an interview, and I talked about the importance of this. Not only the importance of it, but why would I associate myself with it? Why would they associate with me? What's the connection? And the connection is we are trying to provide value to people, and that's what this is really about right here, you guys. Business Vlog Summit. And look, April has this concept where you have to leave there just kind of being able to do something. And this is a conference frustration that we both share. Sometimes you go to a conference and all you get is information in a book, but being able to get information in a book and then being able to apply it right there on the spot, rarely done at a conference. Rarely done. Those types of events, those hybrid events, are done kind of like at the highest levels, and they're also super expensive. They can range from like $1,000 a conference. April's going to do it here. She's broken the payment up into 2. So if you're having a financial challenge, whatever your case may be, look, there's 2 payments you can make. But my thing is, if you really want to do something bad enough, you're going to do it, and you're going to follow through on it. And that's what I like about this blog summit. We are approximately 36 days away. It's in Las Vegas, Nevada, the 2nd through the 4th. I'm going to be on a panel. I'm going to tell you that this conference is very strategic. As you can see, it's not even that expensive. It's $297, which is ridiculously affordable. And look what you get. I wouldn't even pay. As you can see, I didn't even look at the $297. The $247. I went right for the $297 because I want to get all of this stuff. I mean, you get stuff here, but look what you get. Intensive workshop with experts. And these are people in the trenches, you guys. And I'm going to talk about that in a second. There's an opening party, priority access to night summits, priority access to go live, to the go live room. They're actually going to, I don't want to say force you, but they're going to encourage you to live stream right there on the spot and then coach you along. Breakfast, upfront seating, recording of the event. Look, I mean, it's a powerful thing. So here are the speakers, you guys. These are people who are just probably working in the trenches, and they're most of them are very new to me as far as what they do, except for Dr. Anika Finch. She's been around a while, and Yusuf Chowdhury. If I'm messing his name up, forgive me. You know, these are people that I know of that have been in the live streaming world for a while. Candace, PR, she's a workshop instructor. These are people in the trenches out there doing it. So this is who basically all of the presenters, and then myself, obviously. Christian Cotta, looks like he was just added. And last year they had Kim Coles, Annabelle, Annalie Bell, and J.D. Scott. So those were the speakers last year. So this is the second year for this conference. And I know April works really hard at whatever she does, and that's what I really appreciate about her. So this is the summit right here, you guys. And for me, I always look for those groundbreaking conferences. I want to go in and break ground with somebody. You know what I mean? Is this making sense? If this is making sense to you, I want you to put in, let's go 1.1. We got a ways to go here. 1.1, let's do it. 1.1. So the reason why I'm showing you this vlog summit, and one of the reasons why I decided to do it, because as you guys know, moving forward, I'm going to be talking about a lot of social media, a lot of marketing as it relates to your business, because social media and live streaming is really taking off. There's only a small percentage of people actually doing it compared to the number of people consuming it. And that's kind of scary in a sense, but kind of good in a sense, because there's going to be less broadcasters putting out information and more people consuming it. That's a great thing. But here's what I'm going to tell you from a business standpoint. If you are in business and you don't have a personal commercial, even a video, it doesn't have to be a live stream. Maybe it's just a short video describing what you do. You're probably going to be left out in the dust. And you know, I've never been a big fan of video up until live streaming because it was just too costly and time consuming. Costly from a dollar standpoint, yes, but costly from a time standpoint even more. But the better you get at it, the faster you get at it, the easier it becomes. And that's what I want you to know about live streaming. It is definitely the route of the future, because routes change. It is definitely the route of the future. And the more you get adapted and used to it, the better you're going to fare down the road, especially when, and this is my prediction, most social media platforms will consolidate your network reach. And if you don't have anything within that network that you created, you're basically going to be stuck. And the only way out is going to be to pay. And believe me, that's going to be coming soon. As soon as they figure it out, they're going to do it. And I think the strategy with Facebook is to build the numbers up so high that when they implement something, I'm going to call it extended reach. Facebook extended reach or Facebook extended network, $29 a month. I'm predicting that Facebook will come out with something like this because they anticipate when they implement a cost barrier that they're going to lose a portion of their growth in people. So what they're doing is they're just overinflating that number, and then guess what they're going to do? They're going to implement that cost factor, and they might lose 10, 15, 20% of the people that are going to go. Some people will never sign up, but guess what? That network is going to grow. Facebook's network is going to grow even further because people are going to start to experience that extra reach, and that's going to get them excited. So that's kind of where I'm going. Yes, like YouTube Red, exactly. So that's where I think they're going. That's my prediction on it, you guys. Right here behind me is the F-Stop It Daily. It comes out at 10:30 Pacific Standard Time. It is a curated daily, digital daily. It's a collection of current news from all over the place. And the one thing that's really capturing my attention is this article right over here. About Instagram test favorites, things are going to get personal. It is. It's going to get personal to you because guess what? Facebook owns Instagram, and Instagram is going to basically consolidate your network. It's going to isolate you from the main network, and they're doing it right now. It's going to happen really slow. So if you don't have any people that are really responding to you or buying from you in that network, it's going to be hard to get to the new business. It's going to be hard to expand. And there it is right there. You guys see that? Let me open up the bigger article. So this is the stuff that you should definitely be reading about. Things are going to get personal. Look at that. So basically what they're saying is they're going to start isolating. That's my interpretation of it. I'm sticking to that story. Things are about to get personal. Instagram Eagle Eye users have spotted that Instagram is testing its new favorites feature in response to the feedback requesting a more personal experience on the app. All they're saying is we want Instagram to be more like what we're already successful at, and that's Facebook. That's how I interpret that first sentence. So that's a tell, you guys. That's a major tell for where Instagram is going. Step up your internet game instantly. All right. Here's another article that I seen off the F-Stop It Now page. So if you scroll down, it's segmented out. So technology, 5 marketing ideals that can improve your brand growth. For real? Let's look. Let's look at this and see. Okay, so this is from the Market King. I didn't vet out who produces this in terms of, who's writing the article. But live streaming, as you can see, in 2016 was a big year for live streaming. It was a big year because a giant basically entered the market. I don't know that it was a big year, but it was a big year for Facebook entering the market, I guess. So you got to be careful with those. But with those type of things. But here's what I saw. Ephemeral content. I thought this was kind of interesting, and I don't necessarily agree with it. Ephemeral content is a fancy word for content that is going to post and disappear. I don't know that works, because I'm more of a evergreen type of photographer. Evergreen meaning you write some great content that's timeless, and you use it over and over again, because there's going to come a time when business is going to slump, and you might not have the resources to produce content, but you'll have it. But when you're producing ephemeral content, you've got to have good resources, and you've got to be super creative all the time, because you have to constantly keep doing it. Now, there's a strategy for it. On the flip side, ephemeral content might work for someone who's making something up on the fly, and then they realize it's garbage, and then it disappears. Hey, no harm, no foul, right? If you say something, it disappears. Nobody ever hears it. I don't know. So those would be the pros and cons, but I'm not a real big fan of ephemeral content. I think it's hard work and short-lived. So the game you want to kind of look at in your social media is it short run or is it long run? And that's really up to you, and that's kind of what they say here. So they talk about Snapchat advertising. You got to be careful of I'm going to call it the topical sentence bait, right? So you read into that first sentence and it baits you in to something bigger that's going on in the industry, like Snapchat hooking up with TV networks and producing oh, thank you, Rome. See, I told you it looks good, right? Snapchat hooking up with a local network to produce content. So why not write an article and say that this is the next big thing? Because it's already been done. Duh, right? So think about that. Be careful with this. Just because Snapchat is getting into advertising doesn't mean it's going to work for you. So you have to think this through with your third eye. All right. Why the future of live streaming why the live streaming is changing the future of social content. Another good article. You should definitely read that. You can get that off of the F-Stop It Now page, you guys, right here. There's also some photos. I love the New York Times. They do good stuff. And there's a lot of articles here that I basically read through and try to make sense of for the most part. 10 laws of social media marketing, all that kind of stuff. And the reason why I spend more time on social media or more time on marketing is because as a photographer, you should be spending 80% of your time on marketing. There's a lot of photography information out there. We can shoot all that. It's not rocket science. There's lighting, there's aperture, exposure. It just kind of goes around. So at some point you learn this information, and then it becomes, okay, you put the information on the table, and then you go out and you start to apply it. And you come back You look at the information. It's not something that you need to do on a continuous basis because you will never really absorb it in a way that it needs to be absorbed. You need to study it, shoot it in terms of make the photograph, come back. That's going to be about 20% of your time. 80% of your time is trying to figure out where you want to land as a photographer. That's the most important part. Go with me on this. If you guys are attentive to that, and I'm gonna exercise you to make sure that you are spending a lot of your time, 80% of your time, marketing so that you can grow your business. I want you to put in 2.2 if you're going to make that commitment. Let's go. 2.2. All right. Thank you, you guys. I need all the YouTube help I can get. And you guys, if you would subscribe to my YouTube channel, I have a whopping 52 subscribers. I love every one of you, whoever you were that subscribed, and subscribe. So every time I see one subscriber, I get really excited. I'm not kidding you. If I see one subscriber sign up, I'm like, yes, I got a subscriber. So, okay. Let's talk business. Let's go to the deep dive, and this is where you guys should probably pull out your notes, like literally pull out your notes and embrace these points that I'm about to talk about here because they're going to be important. If you've listened to the scope and you've taken notes, you probably got a book. You probably got the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone book, literally. I'm not kidding you. How many of you guys have been taking notes from day one? I want you to drop in a Wi-Fi. How many people have been taking, for the last 2 years, how many of you guys have been taking notes? And I try not to regurgitate the same information. 2 binders, outstanding. Cheryl, thank you. Thank you, Deb. There it is right there. So there's my YouTube channel. Okay, so take notes. This is going to be important. All right, here we go. As you guys know, I'm a social media influencer, and I've influenced, or I still do, and I influence a lot of products. I have a deep-rooted connection with a lot of products in the photography industry. They count on me, I count on them. I only talk about products that I'm passionate about and that I really believe in, because if something goes bad, I want to honestly help that person solve the problem. If something doesn't work, something tears, I want to be passionate about helping them. And generally, I do not take checks from companies that I talk about in terms of, okay, they're going to pay me to say something. Don't do it. Okay, there's a difference between a sponsorship, an affiliate, and someone and a paid spokesman. I'm not a paid spokesman for any of the products, and never will be. So I want you guys to know that. So I'm a commercial photographer. That's how I make my living, through commercial photography. And also, I do generate revenue through social media influence. Now, here's what I want you guys to know. One of the quickest ways to jumpstart your social media is you got to have something that someone wants. Nobody is going to listen to you. No one's going to spend any time with you if you don't have something that they want. It could be a lot of different things that's really up to you to figure out, but you have to be clear and concise about what you are offering people and how you are offering it to them. How does your product stand up against everyone else's in the industry? How do you look as a brand? Now, I know Sheryl Sandberg said, we are not a brand. Colgate is a brand. People don't have brands. Companies have brands. I totally disagree with that, 100%. And I even tweeted, I've been tweeting about it. You know what? You develop a brand as an individual. If you package up cookies, whatever the case may be. So if you sell cookies, how does your cookies look against the other person's cookies? Because unfortunately, you're in a market, you're in a competitive market. You are both selling cookies. What's the difference? And that's what I want you guys to think about. As a photographer, if you're doing Rome Does Boudoir and portraits and things that he does in the studio, what makes his photographs different than everybody else's? It's something that you really have to think about. So do you have what someone wants? And if that's the case, how is it different? How does it benefit the client? What value does it provide? It needs all of those, not just one. Difference is not going to always win, you guys. Sometimes difference is a nightmare. Now, here's the second part. I'm a firm believer, and I'm going to go on a little bit of a rant here, so you guys bear with me. I watch Periscope, mostly on Sundays. I watch Periscope, and I watch, a lot of different broadcasts because it seems like Sundays is the day that people kind of come on. And here's what I see. And I watch it during the midday while I'm working sometimes if I'm in the office. I see people selling coaching services, success, coaching services, success, coaching services, success. I just kind of see a lot of that. I call them empty services. Look, here's the deal. And I will argue this with anybody, at any level that they're on. If you are successful, it is going to be somewhat scientific and process oriented. It is a process that you can share with people that they can do by just following your footsteps. So I'm a photographer. I can get you to be successful. Now, note I'm using the word successful. I can get you to be successful in photography if you follow these certain steps. I cannot make you a great photographer. I cannot make you a progressive photographer. I can only show you certain steps to get you where you need to be. The rest is going to be up to you, how hard you want to work or not. Now, when it comes to, just really getting to the upper echelons, you guys, no one can really show you how to do that because that's when your uniqueness starts. That's when you start. That's when your greatness starts to, you've got your basics in place. That's when your greatness kind of rises. And then you look back and say, well, I have a strong foundation. And that's what you see typically. So people kind of get confused sometimes because they see a very successful person, but they don't know the foundation. They may not ever be able to achieve that particular foundation, even build it, come close to it, but all they see is the success and not the foundation. So they end up being half-cocked. And the people that are teaching these successful processes, they tend to believe the same thing, that, you know what, I did it, anybody can do it. That's not the case. What if I don't speak the language in that country? Am I going to be able to do it? Maybe. I might be on a curveball, but you know what? I don't know. I don't know if I want to deal with that type of learning curve on top of learning the process. There is a lot of things that can happen on your way to success and on your way to progression, and no one can really hold your hand all the way through it. So you got to be super careful, you guys. One of the things that I like to say, if you're going to jumpstart your social media, you got to be able to prove something to people in a big way. Not only you have to prove it, you got to show them. Show and prove. Now, you guys know as an influencer, this is one of my biggest accomplishments. This was huge. This is a huge accomplishment, you guys, that a lot of people probably know and don't know about. You've heard me talk about it, but this is a huge accomplishment. So I was in the 100 top brand influencers, and when I saw where I was at, they must have made a mistake, because how could I have done that? And here it is. There's the proof. So as I talk about social media and I talk about strategy, this is the reason why I'm able to talk about it, but I'm also going to talk about it very realistically, because you guys may not feel the way I feel about social media, or you might not be willing to do the things that I was willing to do. Thank you, sir. I lived on my telephone 24 hours a day. It used to drive my wife nuts. That's all I did was tweet, respond, engage, tweet. And that's how I was able to come to that level. That's how I was able to come to this level. As you guys can see, I'm number 3. This was a 24-hour-a-day job. I focused on the Europe, Asia, United States, and that's where I focused all the way around the clock, you guys. It was a lot of work. Can you do it? Absolutely. When technology improves, will we be able to do it better? Absolutely, right? I'm going to look back on this and say, wow, that process was archaic. They've got new technology out. Somebody's probably going to surpass me. So you need actual proof. If you're a great coach, prove it. I'm not asking you to do anything that you wouldn't do to sell somebody something, right? If you're a great coach, prove that you're a great coach. Show us some statements show us some bank accounts. Show us something that proves you are a great coach. Please. So look, moving forward, one of the most important things, you guys, this will rise and fall. Just check this out now, because everything that I'm giving you here are steps. Your social media will rise and fall with your profile. If your profile is good, people will click through. Make sure that you have links in your profile. It's very descriptive. They only give you, 20, 30, 40 words sometimes. So you got to really think it through and make it work. So the first thing I have in my profile, as you can see, pro photographer, and then I'm a cloud influencer, my websites right out the gate, keithbdixon.com and keithbdixon.net. I want them to see that right away, in case they want to click and go to it. They don't have to work for it. Cloud influencer, sponsorships last, and then bomb squad, evangelist. There's my profile. This is one of the most important things, especially on your Twitter and Periscope format profile. This is the most important section, you guys. And it will rise and fall with your tweets. The more you tweet, the more engagements you get, the more people look at your profile, the more they launch off into your website. And that brings up my whole second point, right? Well, more than a second point. You have to have a place for them to go, and that it's got to be luxurious. I'm putting that pressure on you. You got to have a website, a blog, or a landing page that people can go to. If they don't see that, they're gone forever. They're never going to do business with you. You're always going to spend your time building yourself up to these people. If it doesn't look good, people are not going to buy from you. You are going to decrease your value. So you have to get this part right. This is your 24-hour-a-day employee who is non-union. You don't have to pay them. You don't have to feed them. And this thing will work for you every minute of the day. If you watch the interview from earlier today, I tweeted it out. One of the first things the host said was, "Oh, you got a great looking website." Well, I'm not surprised by that. We're supposed to have that. But the thing that tickled me about what he said was, "You have a great looking website." To me, it meant he's probably seen a lot of bad websites. Yeah, you still got to pay yearly for it. That is so true, Rome. But it's working for you 24 hours a day. But yeah, yearly or monthly in most cases. So these are the three things that you got to be conscious of. I don't really blog, you guys. My blog, I haven't done any blog entries because I vlog most of the time on my platforms. So this is thank you, Amber, the mothership, right? So you got to take them back. And this is where you're going to take people and really embrace them as a consumer. You're really going to embrace them as a consumer. So I'm going to pause and see if you guys have some questions here. We're just about through this. Let's pause. Let's go to pause. And I want to open this up for a few questions, and then we're going to dive out of here and go back into the rest of the slides and finish. You guys have questions? And the best landing page app. Ooh. I'm going to say WordPress. WordPress, PhotoBiz. You can do landing pages with PhotoBiz, but those are the two best. So let's say you don't want to make a monthly commitment. I'm going to say WordPress. And so Instagram or Twitter, which is better? I would say that they're so different. One is Instagram is a personal networking site. So let me define this out for you guys. There's social media, which means that is content that we're producing, like videos, ads, all that kind of. That's actually social media. Social networking is a platform like Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Those are social networking sites. They're completely different, and people get those confused. Yes, WordPress. There it is, right there. So it really depends on your goal. The thing that I'm going to tell you is you have to leverage the platforms that work for you the best. Where is your target market? Where do they live? Do they live on Facebook? Do they live on Instagram? You have to understand the demographic and where they are. The easiest way to do that, and thank you. Thanks, Lamar, for doing that. Here's the thing. I'm gonna dive into this just a little bit. I'm gonna try to. I don't want to give away the article. So you guys know I'm writing an article that's gonna run in PPA magazine about social media, and jump starting it. I don't want to give away too many steps, but I'm going to tell you, here's something that's really important. Your boots on the ground is an integral part of your social media, and really getting it to come together. It is not possible to sit behind your computer and jumpstart your social unless you just have some totally unique product and you're an outlier. Not possible. Not that I know of right now. Would you recommend the social media Bible? Would you recommend the social media Bible? Um, hmm. Let me think about that. I wouldn't. What I wouldn't do is I wouldn't single source my ideals about social media. I wouldn't single source it. So everything that I'm talking about is from a collection. Did a segment on senior photography and blowing up 3 or 4 packages. I can believe it. I can believe it. It's a huge market. So I wouldn't single source it. I would just look at all the different types of information out there in the bookstore, not online. In the bookstore, you guys go to the bookstore and look at books on social media, Facebook, Instagram, some of the authors. There's a whole bunch of them. I'm gonna have to. You know what? I'm in my article. I'm gonna reference a lot of these. I don't want to give away too much because I'm gonna give away the article, and then you guys probably won't read it. But I'm going to reference a lot of the authors that I read or that I've read and researched, and some of them are not even tied to social media. They're just talking about companies and how they market. So that's a big part of it. Those are some good questions, you guys. Any other questions before we move out of this? If this is helping you guys out, if we're getting a better understanding of social, let me know. Put in a Wi-Fi right now. If you're getting a better understanding of social media and what it means, throw in a Wi-Fi for me right now so I can get a gauge. Mm-hmm. Yes, yes, yes. All right, thank you, you guys. Just so you know, we still have some T-shirts available, no large sizes. Setting up a landing, yeah, you can set up a landing page. All right, Mike. A landing page is different. It's not like website driven. A landing page is just very specific to whatever you're doing, and you can do a bunch of landing pages for every product that you have. No, no, I don't think so, Rome. They're trying photo albums, but they're just so far behind the eight ball. I think they just got to stick to the search game. It's like a classic example. I fell asleep at the wheel. Google. Being too wanting to be too culture oriented. I think that's kind of where they lost it, as opposed to being innovative and thinking through their product. It just sometimes when you get too many smart people in a room, it just doesn't go well. Do you curtail your YouTube for your area like ATL? No. YouTube is fairly new to me in terms of my strategy and what I'm going to do with it. I'm not even quite sure. But what I will tell you, Van, is the person that really understands, I think, in my opinion, really understands YouTube is Roberto Blake. And that's who I follow. So I'm looking at Roberto Blake and a few other people, Carlos Gill, and I'm looking at how they manage their YouTube. No, Yelp is not beneficial. Rome, I'm going to get to that. That's a good one. Let me shift gears because Rome brought up Yelp. I've checked out Yelp, and I'm going to say in a month, this is a real number. In a month, I got 61 click-throughs off my Yelp page. 61. That's not a lot, but in my area, I got 61. None of those leads materialized, but in my Google, I've actually gotten more business just off of a Google profile than I did Yelp. But Yelp is effective if you're a plumber or if you're doing something service oriented. Yelp is perfect. If you're in an area where people go on to Yelp to find photographers, I think it could work, but cost versus return, I don't think it's good on Yelp for photographers. That's my experience. And I did everything to the T and nothing. Yeah, Roberto is definitely the guy for YouTube. YouTube is a whole new strategy for me because my strategy is mostly leveraged around Periscope, Twitter, and Facebook. All right, you guys, let's go back. Let's go back. And I'll pause for questions at the end as well. I'm going to rebroadcast on Facebook as well, you guys, tonight, about 10 minutes after. Okay, so here are the three main things you should be thinking about having or have at the minimum: a website, a blog, and a landing page. And this should go to every single one of your profiles on all of your social media platforms, whatever they may be. And make them cohesive and all the same. So no matter where they are, this is coming up because that counts towards your relevancy. Consistency counts towards relevancy in search engines. Make sense? All right. And here's what I mean by consistency. Thoughts on Tumblr? Okay, I'll come to the Tumblr. I'll definitely talk about that because I actually have a Tumblr page. Here's the thing. Whatever you do, if you're a coach, a teacher, have a professional looking page, please. Because I see this all the time. Like a person is a coach and their page looks terrible. This is Visita. Visita is a site that targets coaches, teachers, anybody offering any type of service. Doesn't matter. You could be a chiropractor. This is fairly expensive per month, but the bookings and the billings that you can pull in with just this professional look and the tools that they have is well worth it. And the $60 a month, I'm going to tell you, is minuscule if you're doing what you need to do. This is just a cost of doing business. So this is the Visita site, and it's Visita.com. If you want more information on it, let me know. I'll hook you right up. But have a professional look if you're going to be a coach or a teacher, you guys. Also, your website. It's got to be simple and clean. This website this is my selling agent right here. This is my non-union rep that represents Keith B. Dixon, and it works very well, you guys, very well. 90% of the time, I never meet the client or even talk to him on the phone. It's all done online and through this site, and I may update it once a year. Okay. This is it right here. Keep it real simple, you guys. One message. I do creative event photography on a corporate level. Now, as you begin to offer information, or you want to offer information, you have to educate people. It doesn't matter what level you're at. You don't have to be the one educating. You could just be providing educational material. It is the easiest way to break down a barrier with people. It is the easiest way to get people to understand that you understand the importance and value of education. If your content is education driven, you will attract people because they'll come to your feed just to read your information. Matter of fact, they'll come to your feed because they don't want to look for stuff. They just want to be able to find it real easy. And if they know that you have it, guess what? They're going to come to your site. So this is a great way to start to get people to engage you and know who you are, is by providing educational driven content, i.e. an article on photography that is well written and published and makes complete sense. We do it with Exposure 101. We provide free education. Well, it's not free anymore. We provided free education for 2 years to the photography masses. Our audience is new, very new photographers, and intermediate and some advanced photographers. That was our audience. And we did that. We called it Exposure 101. So that's a way you can drive content. Now, we're almost out of here, you guys. The other thing that I want to tell you is when you're creating your content, give people things they can take away. Even if it's not yours. You can give away other people's stuff because they gave it to you. You can pass it along to someone else. There's all kind of charts and templates and things that you can use to get people to download and so on and so on. And those people that you're basically pushing the content for will appreciate you, and you can start to engage them back. Matter of fact, if you're doing it the right way, they're going to say to you, they're going to reach out to you and say, thank you for basically retweeting and tweeting our content. We appreciate you. Is there anything we can do for you? That's just how it works. It's really just that simple, you guys. Always give people action-oriented steps that they can take away with them. This is part of the, matter of fact, this is the 25 steps to earning more business. This is in the 90 PT, and you can definitely get on the 90 PT, and there's going to be something you're going to take away. It's impossible not to. I'm going to get to your questions, you guys, in just a second. We got Tumblr and Pinterest, and then how do you curate legally? Okay, I got those. Those questions are coming up right after this. And then I chose these photographs because, you know, typically the picture is just kind of posed and we're standing there, but you notice how we're engaging in the photo, like we're doing karate moves. That's Ben Whitmore in the middle, and then Julianne Koss at the bottom. So we're at Creative Live, and that's what we do, take pictures. But you know what, let's do something dynamic and engaging. When you're doing that, people are always going to see you. So if you're engaging people, re-engaging people constantly, because most people don't do it, people are going to see you, they're going to want to talk to you, they're going to be your friend, whatever the case may be. You're going to bring attention to yourself. This is part of social media. This is called the social networking component of social media. So keep this in mind, you guys. Social media can be a very powerful tool. You have to apply all the steps. You got to do all the work, you guys. You got to get it cracking, or it's just not going to work for you. It's not going to work effectively. You're going to be burning up time, or you're going to be burning calories on stuff that you're getting nothing out of. So let's talk about Tumblr. If you're a blogger and you're in the Tumblr community, it's probably perfect. And again, it all goes back to, even with Pinterest. Pinterest is a good way. Pinterest has a lot of good visuals, handouts and visuals. They've carved that market out for themselves, and it's like a quiet storm waiting to happen. People are going to catch on to it. It's a matter of time for Pinterest. So Pinterest would be a good resource to originate content from. So let's say there's a checklist on social media, and that's how I would use it. I would I would find a checklist, and then I would share that checklist as it relates to data and information that I'm sharing, and then pass that off as content. As long as you are giving people, and this is to answer Rome's question, as long as you are giving people credit and you're not claiming that information as your own, it's fair game, it's fair usage, especially if they're providing it as a download. You can share that link and say, here's a great link for downloading. Yep. And you know what, Tim, I would share that information to bring attention so you could bust open your own Pinterest community. Definitely. And I use Pinterest a lot. If I need to understand something, or if I'm teaching a class, it's kind of hard because when you're teaching a class and you're charging money, you can't use other people's material. You know, it's not fair for you to use free material in your class when you're getting paid and they're not. So I don't do that. I just make up my own slides and graphics. But if I'm doing something for free, then I'll definitely take advantage of the free usage. I hope that answers those 3 questions. Are there any more questions, you guys, that I can answer for you? Yes. Exposure is definitely a brand on the YouTube side. Absolutely. Curating RSS. It's very time consuming, Rome. Thank you. RSS is finding the RSS feed that's going to, like, Petapixel does a lot. That guy, I don't know how he does it. I mean, he is curating every single hour of the day, it seems like. And that's why I love his site, and that's why I reference it a lot, because he's constantly doing it. But I've gone through and looked at some sites, and I was like, wow, they're really pumping out information, only to find that they're really not. It's not coming out consistently. It's just coming out, and that doesn't help me. So if you pull in an RSS feed and you pull it into, let's say, Buffer, for instance, I don't know if you guys know this. I don't want to go too deep into this because then I'm going to give away a lot of what I'm going to write about and talk about on the platform. But what I will say is, if you pull in an RSS feed into Buffer or Hootsuite, whatever you're using, and when you pulled it in, it looked like it was going to be something that was beneficial, and then you go in only to find that there's really not a lot of content being produced on a regular basis, you're going to be in trouble. And that's what's dangerous about if you provide an RSS feed to someone, and you're not updating your content, they're going to see it very clearly because they're going to see all the gaps, and all the gaps are going to be inconsistent. So you got to be careful with that. All right, I hope that helps you guys. My name is Keith B. Dixon, commercial photographer. Tonight we're talking about 7 ways. We talked about 7 ways you could jumpstart your social and polish it off. If you go through and you've taken notes, these are going to be very useful steps that you can basically use to polish up all the rough areas in your social. And you guys, I'm not sure when the PPA article is going to come out. It's due. I have to have it turned in by July 3rd or July 5th or something like that. And it's going to be, I'm going to pour my heart out into this, make it real strong so that people can definitely take advantage of it. And I hope you guys use this. This is a big part, you guys. This is a really big part of the business. I'm going over to Facebook. I'm going to take a break, and then I'm going to go over to Facebook, and basically I'm going to rebroadcast this. So it'll be same content, maybe delivered just slightly different. But that's what we're going to do, you guys. Thank you for listening. If you're watching me on the web, wherever you're watching, I want to thank you for listening. And remember, go to subscribe, you guys. Subscribe to my YouTube page. I got 4 people watching. I'm excited, and I really am, because it's a slow roll for me. So subscribe to my YouTube page, and subscribe to podcast.keithbdixon.online as well. Now that I'm excited about. It is. Whew. I thought podcasting was going to be like a slow road to the other side of the world, but that thing is going good, you guys. So there it is. All right, thank you. I will see you guys tomorrow morning on Morning Motivation, 7:35 Pacific Standard Time, you guys. 5 days a week, Morning Motivation, the Kilo Bravo Delta Zone 7705. This is how we do it. Thank you for tuning in. You guys have a great night. I'll see you on Facebook. I'm going to take about a 15-minute break or less, and then I'll see you on Facebook if you want to join me. We get different people on Facebook. Some people just love it more, I guess. Thank you for the bombs. I'll see you guys tonight. Drop in. Let's do a bomb drop. We haven't done a bomb drop in a long time. Do a bomb drop on the way out. Let's go.